Hi, everybody. Oh my gosh, good afternoon. I hope you enjoyed that little holiday intro we've cut together, and I hope you enjoy our little holiday lights that Jordan has put into StreamYard. Aren't these adorable? So I thought we'd get a little festive for the beginning of December, the start of the holiday season, and so I hope that you enjoy that. and Thank you all so very much for tuning in with us today. Welcome to the show. If you are new here, hi, my name is Callie Champagne, and this is the AllBrands Show. Thank you so very much for tuning in. So we've got a jam-packed show today. We don't have someone else tuning in from any other part of the country. We don't have another guest that way. We have a guest in the studio today, and it is our very own Courtney Douthat. I am really excited for the show. We're going to be talking about so many different holiday gifts, crafts, etc., things that you can make super duper easy on your ScanNCut. We are going to be featuring the SDX225F today and some of the other accessories and things that we recommend you can use with it. And we've got so much to show you. So before we get started, I want to jump right into it, but I want to say hello to some people in the chat first. We've got Glenda McGill over in Texas. Thank you so much for watching today, Glenda. We've got Donna over in Pasadena, Texas. Thank you so much for watching, Donna. It's great to see you all. We've got Janice from Mesa, Arizona. Karen Carr from Ohio. Great to see you. We got Barb over in Florida. Great to see you all. We've got Cheryl over in Ann Arbor, Michigan. Lou in North Carolina. Lady Fair over in Illinois. Mary Strong in South Carolina. Guys, we've got so many people watching today. This is so awesome. We've got Josie Soes. Always great to see you, Josie, over there in Maryland. I hope the weather over there is treating you well. We've got Elizabeth over in Louisville, Kentucky. Awesome to see you. Oh my goodness, all the comments are just coming in. It's so great to see you all. We got Cindy over in Nashville. Great to see you, Cindy. Beth Small in Ohio. We've got Ann Keller over in Gretna. What's up, Ann? Oh my gosh, West Bank is the best bank. Great to see you. The woman after my own heart. I'm from not too far away from there, Ann. So great to see you in the chat. We've got Shelly over in Louisiana as well. Always good to see you. Sandra Brown over in Mississippi. Great to see you, Sandra. And Deborah over in Utah. Guys, this is an awesome show. I am so glad that you are all watching. So before we get started, one more thing that I would like to say, we are going to be giving away a $50 AllBrands gift card at the end of the show today. And we're going to be doing what we usually do. So if you go ahead and comment hashtag AllBrands, now make sure the hashtag and AllBrands are all one word, just like it's scrolling across the bottom of the screen. You can see it right there. If you comment that, you will be entered in to win that $50 gift card, and we will be pulling for that winner's name at the very end of our show today. So get those comments in. You can comment that at any point during the show. It's one entry per person that will enter you in. And I've got my little counter over here on my side on the computer. So we'll pick that, and you'll be able to see us pick it at the end of the show today in about an hour. Goodness, look at all these comments coming in, you guys. It's so good to see you. And I hope you all had a great Thanksgiving. We took a week off, but it's really great to see you all again. I'm so happy to be back. Judy just got her ScanNCut. So Judy, I hope you learn, I hope you get some great tips on some projects you can start doing on your ScanNCut. I am really excited for you all to see this. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to go ahead and introduce our guest. We have Courtney Douthat over in the studio today, right next to me. Oh, Courtney, I'm so excited for everyone to see all of this. This is gonna be such a fun show. So
we're gonna have a good time, definitely.
So let's just hop right into it. We're gonna start off with an awesome little ornament that we talked about a little bit before the show. Y'all, this is adorable. Let's take a look at this. Courtney, just take it away.
All right. So we were going through, and she's like, "What do we do?" I'm like, "Well, I have this, I have that, I have this." And then I was like, I wonder if I could put something in this clear ornament. So we're actually going to test it. And if you're not familiar with the Brother ScanNCut, this is the Brother SDX225F ScanNCut. It can draw, it can cut, it can do a number of things, and we're going to go through a lot of those. But if you have questions, please ask them in the comments, because I love questions. I love being able to answer them. All right, so usually when you think of a cutter machine, you're like, okay, it can do paper, it can do vinyl. Those are usually the go-to, especially vinyl. If you see here, we put a vinyl decal on this ornament. And like I said, you're used to vinyl. But you can do other things, especially with the ScanNCut. The ScanNCut has one of the largest areas to actually put things through. So think of a puppy foam. If it's under 2 millimeters, you can cut it. So we have cork. Let's see. We have a piece of cork. It's a thick cork. This is thicker than regular paper, and we can cut it in the ScanNCut just fine. I usually say if it's under 2 millimeters, try it. See what happens. Don't tell brother I told you that, but try it. Let's see what happens. So we're going to actually cut out an ornament, and we're going, I'm sorry, shape. And we're going to put it in our ornament to kind of give it a little fun. Okay. So for this, what you could use is a standard or the fabric mat. You need something sticky to be able to hold it. So we're going to use a fabric mat. And we're going to put our cork on here. And if you notice, there's already something that's been cut out of my cork. Cork is expensive. Material is expensive. I don't want to have to spend more if I don't have to. So I'm going to use every single piece of this. And with the ScanNCut, you can, of course, scan it in to be able to see exactly what's on your mat. So you can use every little piece that there is. So we're going to put her on her mat. And we're going to load her in. We're going to wake her up because she's asleep. We're going to hit edit and we're going to size her down because it is an ornament, so it's not huge. So we want to be able to have something small enough to go in there. We're going to resize. Let's see. How big is this one? That's 2. Okay, let's resize a little bit more. Okay. We're going to hit OK. And again, if I wanted to cover all of the cork with a snowflakes, I could.
It looks like our sound is off.
Uh-oh.
Let's see what we can do about that, guys. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear this. Let's try that. Give me a thumbs up if you can hear me right now. It looks like the mics on our end are working. I'm not quite sure what's going on, but
It's back now.
oh, is it back now? Okay, awesome. Okay, so guys, can you hear me? Can you hear Courtney? Let's just make sure we can do that. We tested it beforehand, but I guess technology is just acting a little funky today. Please let me know if you guys can hear me and if you can hear Courtney. Let's see. There's an echo. Okay, let's try that. Hopefully, there's no echo now. We have 4 cameras set up in this room, so we're just gonna see how this goes. We got people saying there's an echo. Okay, the echo's gone. Woo. Thank you, Kathy. You're a rock star. All right, awesome. So, guys, if we've got any sound or camera issues, please let us know in the chat, and we can fix that up. But it sounds like we're doing good now. Okay, Courtney, keep on going.
All right, she's like, hurry. All right, so let's go ahead and cut this out before the camera or the audio decides to
right
on this again. We're going to hit OK. We're going to select what we want to do. We can draw, we can cut, we can emboss, we can foil, we can do rhinestones, we can do whatever we want. But in this case, let's cut. Okay.
So, guys, in case you missed it, Courtney just loaded the mat. We selected our snowflake, and now we're getting ready to cut.
Let's do it. All right. Now, should we do a test cut? Yes. Are we going to know we're rebels? We're going to do a non-test cut. So we're going to hit start. And what she's doing is she's testing how thick the material is. And she's going to start cutting. Now, if you have the previous model ScanNCuts, you'll notice I did not adjust anything. It's too thick. Ooh. Let's see. Okay. Oh, I need to push the lever up. That's me. Oh, and change blade. I had a fabric blade in there. Did not like that. Let's put the final blade in. Okay. Now, in the previous models, you'll notice I didn't adjust anything. I didn't set any numbers or anything like that. I didn't have to tell it how thick my material was or anything. The previous models, you had to. You had to tell it exactly what it was. And you had to write those down in a book and make sure, because if not, you were test cutting each one of those different materials because every single one of them had a different setting. Now with the auto blade, you don't have to do that. It automatically will know how thick to cut. Let's see. And it also will go through vinyl, but it can do vinyl just fine with a half cut. So here's your toast, and she'll you can do it in the middle of the night and not have to worry about waking anyone up. Alrighty, here's our little snowflake. Now I wish I could hold it up. I wonder if I put it here, if they'll be able to see it better on that camera.
People are saying that we're still losing our sound, and I'm not quite sure why. Our sound should be working fine. Can you guys hear me? Go ahead and give me a thumbs up if you can hear me. We should have sound. It's telling me that we have sound. So
Sound is back.
yeah, everybody's saying the sound is back. I'm not quite sure what's going on with our internet. So apologies for the technical difficulties, you guys. But this is our snowflake.
This is our snowflake that we've cut out. If you notice, she's very intricate. And we could even go further intricate if we wanted to. So now that we have her, we're going to take our ornament. Oops, let's see. I'm trying to cheat the camera. All right, now I put this larger one in there before, and that was really, really cute. We also could put our smaller one in there. And I think I might go with the larger one just because we might be able to see it better. So I'm going to fold it up. Because remember, it's just cork. It's just material. So we're going to put her in there. And again, you could fill this up. We had a great idea earlier. She was saying you could put snow. You could put a ton of different things in there to kind of have in there. So now we have our little cork ornament. I might flip her and see if she lays flat for me. Okay. Okay, we're going to put our little topper. And again, I could put the little one in there if I wanted to and really keep layering it in there. Yeah. She's just freestanding in there. You could do like different fabrics. You don't have to do cork, obviously. No. You could do a ton of different fabrics with this. You could even do like felt, glitter. Yeah. Like any sort of like foam. I know the ScanNCut does really well with foam too, like those really thin foam sheets. Yeah, and you could really do a ton of different ones. You can hardly hear Courtney. Well, your mic is on. I'm not sure. Yeah, check your mic pack. What is it supposed to do? Oh, okay. Go ahead and hit the power button right there.
It would help if we turned it on.
It would help if we turned the mic on.
If we turned it on.
So hopefully that works better. Thanks for keeping us in check, guys. Appreciate that. And keep those entries going in for the AllBrands gift card giveaway. Hashtag AllBrands. It's going to be hashtag here. There we go.
All right. So we've put 2 different ones in there, and I could keep adding in there, and it would look really great. It'd be like a snow globe, and I could add anything I wanted to. I'm trying to figure out where the camera is. There it is. If we wanted to keep going that, because it's just a clear one. So it didn't have to be cork. It could be whatever material we wanted it to be. All righty. So let's go ahead and we'll move on to our next project. Okay, this one we were excited about. I don't like tags. I am very particular about my wrapping. I pick it out months before. I'm that person. And I haven't liked any tags. But I did want ribbon. I like velvet ribbon. I decided this year was going to be velvet ribbon, crushed velvet ribbon in green, like a deep forest green and red. But then I was like, how am I going to label it? Am I going to remember every single package that I have and put every single one and be like, okay, this was my sister's. This one was this one. No. So what I decided to do was take vinyl and put my son's name. This one's particular for my son. And I'm going to put his name on the ribbon. So that way there's no need for a tag. I know it's from me, so here it goes. So I'll show you how to go ahead and do that. And we've also done it on this one. And I didn't have an issue with these at all. The only thing I would recommend is if you notice this is like a plastic edge, keep your iron away from that. Just make sure there's a barrier. And I didn't have a problem with it. So let's go ahead and set up. Go home. Okay. we're going to go into the machine. Now, if you haven't played with your ScanNCut yet, the best thing I recommend is going through and seeing what's in your arsenal. What do you have? What can you use? What is there already on here? Because there's a number of shapes. There's also more delicate designs. So know what's in there, know how to get it. You'll kind of start being second nature where everything is. And you also have a lot more. You have a ton of quilt patterns or quilt blocks built into the machine that you can resize all together. That is an amazing tool, especially if you're a beginner quilter, because it will not only cut your quilt blocks for you, but it will draw your seam allowance. You can add seam allowance to anything on this machine. So let's go ahead. I want to write a name, or I could have put a reindeer. I could put whatever. You've got fonts built in right here. So you can pick any one of these fonts. I'm going to select this font. That seems to be my go-to. And then at the beginning here, I know, okay, well, this font seems to be the one that'll have all of them. So it'll be a little bit more uniform. All right. You're going to hit OK. Oh, sorry. Let's type something in. Let's type. Actually, let's do John. Let's do my son John's name. I put Alex on everything, but let's put John. All righty. We're going to hit set. Now, if you notice on here, you'll see a grid. This grid is the exact same grid that's on your ScanNCut mat. They are copies of each other. So if you ever look for a ruler, I know I'm always looking for a ruler to try to size things. You don't need a ruler. This is your ruler. These blocks are 1 inch apart, or one inch apart. So with this, we have this. We know that our ribbon is not that thick. It is, we'll see if we hold it up to the mat. It is barely 1 inch. So this image currently is bigger than that. So I want to go ahead and shrink her down. So we're going to hit Object Edit. We're going to go to the sizing tool. The cool thing I always tell people, and they never notice, is the ScanNCut will automatically want to resize like you're breathing. So all together, think all in, all out. Let's see. See, it's uniformly doing it. Well, if my ribbon is very long, but my name like this is very short, I still want to put it on the ribbon pretty large. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select this. And what this does is it locks one of them. So it won't do it like it's breathing all together. It's going to do one individually. So here we go. I want to make it thinner. But if you notice, my height didn't change. Just my width changed. And vice versa. If I wanted to make it taller but not, as wide, I can do that. So for my ribbon, I need it to be pretty small. So we're going to go underneath there. Okay, let's see. I always bring it up to the top. It's a habit. You don't have to do that. It can read from anywhere. All right, now it feels a little squished, so I think I will actually lower that width a little bit. Okay, there we go. And again, you can bring it back up to the top. That way you can read it. And you can do it with your finger, but if some people don't like to do that way, what you can do to move it is hit OK again, and then come here. What that's going to do is give you arrows, and then you can select your arrows to move it. You don't have to do it just with your finger. All righty. And again, you don't have to come to the corner. It's just habit for me. So we're going to hit OK again. Okay, now let's load our mat. So we have our mat here. This one is the fabric mat. I'm using it because it's ribbon. It's a velvet ribbon, so that is fabric for me. Okay. And sorry, Alex, but I'm going to cut off your name right there so we can do the other one. He's 2. He won't care. He has no idea. All right. We need better scissors. If only that scissors was ScanNCut. All right. So we noticed that it's below 1 inch. We're not going to put our ribbon on there. We could. That would be kind of fun to see if you could cut through it. Because that's always the habit of wondering if you could do something and then just trying it. So we're going to load our mat. Now for my ribbon, I was using a shiny glittery because it showed up well in there. If I do a dark vinyl, it's not going to show up as well. So I want to do a light one. I'm just going to cut a piece. If you have extra pieces of vinyl, do not throw them out. Use them. Because, I mean, look at this. We're using this big sheet when we really only needed a small piece. And I always tell my kids, they know if they see vinyl in the house, to run and come give it to me, to go put it on the desk, because we do not waste vinyl in this house. I keep every little bit. I actually have a little filing thing that pulls all the different colors. Alrighty, now, should we put the vinyl on there and start cutting? No, because we're missing a step. Now, vinyl, it comes in 2 pieces. Every single vinyl comes in 2 pieces. This is an adhesive vinyl. So think of shirt or anything that's a fabric, like this ornament had fabric on it. So we made sure we did that with the heat transfer. So HTV. There's PSV, which is a pressure sensitive vinyl. That is going to be like wall decals or anything that you don't want to add an iron to or shouldn't add an iron to, anything plastic, anything like that. You're going to do pressure sensitive vinyl. So vinyl is 2 parts, even the pressure sensitive. You've got your top part, which is this clear part that's going to keep it all together. And then you have your other part. This is glue. This is the actual vinyl that's going to adhere. So we're going to make sure that that part, the actual vinyl, is up. Why? We don't want to cut through that plastic, because if we did a name, each little letter would be cut all the way through. So we would have to take each letter and make sure we were lining it up on whatever we wanted. And I don't want to do that. I want it on one piece. That way I could put it on something like, say, the stocking. I could put it on here. I've already done his little name. But I could put it on here, put a protective piece of cloth, and iron it. That clear part comes off, and the name stays there. So then that way, it's perfectly aligned. I'm not having to go each letter by letter to put it on there. It's already done that for me. And the same thing with pressure-sensitive vinyl. You're not going to flip your image, but you're going to make sure that you have transfer tape. You're going to transfer it over, but we'll go through pressure-sensitive vinyl in a little bit. So we have this. Okay, let's put our vinyl. Remember, vinyl side up, not the other part. And it's more of a matte because that's the glue. And we're going to take our image. We're going to hit Edit, Object Edit. We're going to flip it. Because remember, we reversed it. We were putting the wrong side or the correct side down. All right, now, Courtney, that's a very, very, very small piece of vinyl. I think that's actually a 2-piece or smaller than what we need. Well, let's make sure. Let's go ahead. We're going to hit OK. We're going to scan our vinyl in. And what does that mean? We're going to scan our mat to see what is on our mat, what is on there, and I'm going to actually move my image to it. Let's see. It's a habit to touch it. You don't have to touch it. All right. So if you look at my screen right now, you see that dark spot? That's our vinyl. That's what it was. And if I had it over here, you could see it. If I had it over there, you could see it, wherever it was. I could put multiple on the page and have the ScanNCut cut out multiple, because it's a lot. You just write down everyone's name, put them on here or design, and have it cut out. Now, if I take this image and I put it on there, it's too small. It is. So I can either put a new piece of vinyl, or I can go to Edit, Object Edit. We go to Sizing, and we make it a little bit smaller. Well, let's lock it again because I don't want to make it any shorter. Okay. We hit OK. We hit OK. Now we know we're within the limits of that vinyl. So we're going to hit OK again. Okay. Please select. What do you want to do? Do you want to cut? Do you want to draw? Do you want to emboss? Do you want to foil? Do you want a rhinestone? We are going to cut. Now, unlike our cork that we did a minute ago, we cut all the way through it. I don't want to cut through this because remember, vinyl's 2 parts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit this wrench. I'm going to scroll down 1, and I'm going to say half cut on. Hit OK. And let me tell you, that is a game changer, because what it's going to do is it's now only going to cut through 1 part of that vinyl and leave the other part alone. Should we test cut? Yes. Are we rebels? Yes. Let's go ahead. Start. All right. So we're going to hit start. And she's going to start cutting out. She's starting, she's testing, and she's going over to her vinyl and start cutting it out. All right.
And honestly, I mean, I know that the newer models are a little bit quieter than the 225F, but this thing is still really quiet. This ScanNCut is really, really silent.
I see a comment said, why wouldn't you use a regular mat to cut? You
Mm.
can. You should. You should use a standard instead of a fabric mat. What did I have in front of me? Fabric mat. So I went ahead and used it. Do as I say, not as I do situation, huh? All right, so there we go. And this fabric mat's just so sticky. It's nice. Ooh, did I have to have it on? There we go. Yeah, see, she called me on it. She was like, you shouldn't have used that one.
Elizabeth said, I like that you refer to your ScanNCut as a she.
She is a she.
Does your ScanNCut have a name?
It does not. Usually it has a bad name if it starts acting up on me. So we're actually going to cut that one again because I was off a little bit. I should have used the magnifying glass to zoom in a little bit more, and I won't use the fabric one. Let's go ahead and go to the standard one. I'm good. Call me out on it.
Maybe that's why we test cut.
That's why we test
That's
cut.
why we test
Yes,
cut.
Jordan. All right. And to make sure I don't do that again, I'm just putting the whole sheet.
There you go. Put the whole sheet. Oh, okay. Carla's got a good question. Carla's wondering, why do you use a standard mat instead of a fabric mat?
Okay, your fabric mat, think of it as your fabric scissors and your regular scissors. We know we threaten people's lives when they use our fabric scissors. So in that case, that fabric mat is super, super sticky. And I want it to be able to hold thick things like fabric down. I don't want to use it unless I have to. I don't want to have to waste my scissors unless I'm not paying attention and do it anyways. I want to be able to use that one. And I used to, before they came out with the fabric mat, I had a standard mat that I put a high tack support sheet on, and that was my fabric mat. And if you've ever used high tack support sheets, you know that the machine starts cutting through it. And then you have bits you have to pick off. So I'm really glad they did a fabric mat that's just dedicated to that. All righty, let's see. Half cut on. On. Let's do a test cut to make Jordan happy. All right, Jordan. Let's see.
Everybody makes mistakes.
I don't. All right, here we go. We'll do our test cut. But just so you know, I'm unhappy. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, and Barbara is over in the chat answering questions. So, hey, Barbara, thank you so much for answering questions for us. Yes, the fabric mat does have more tackiness. And yes, low tack is for paper, standard for vinyls, fabric mat is for fabric, definitely.
Okay, so she said she did a test cut. Let's see where she did it. While I look for that, let's answer some more questions.
Yeah, let's answer some questions. So we had somebody asking where you bought the ornament earlier.
Oh, that's just the Dollar Tree. If you know me, you know I love the Dollar Tree. I love a deal. Okay, you'll learn that quick. All right, so maybe if I put it up here, you'll be able to see it better. All right, so we have our vinyl. We did our test cut. There she is. Here she is, perfectly cut, Jordan. There you go. I'll save this for you. Merry Christmas.
Yes.
This is for you. Right there, Jordan.
It's a Christmas miracle.
This song was dedicated to Jordan. All right. So we did our test cut. I'm now going to refer to it as a Jordan cut for the rest of my life. All right. So let's go ahead and cut out the name.
Oh, and while we're waiting for that to cut, Terry over on Facebook was wondering, will this be recorded to watch later? Yes, Terry, this is going to be available to watch on our YouTube channel and our Facebook page as soon as we go off the air. So in case you miss anything, in case you got to run, you missed the intro, whatever, you'll be able to go back and watch this as soon as we go off the air. It'll be available for everything. Oh, Liz brought up a good point. Liz said, put the test cut in the ornament. There we go. Yeah, right.
Let's every test cut we're gonna put in the ornament. There we go.
It's just our little test cut bank.
I like that. Not that I'm ever gonna do one again. I'm just kidding.
Never.
There we go. That one's for you, Liz.
Ooh, Karen had a good question. Karen is wondering, what mat do you use to cut fabric with iron-on interfacing? What side of fabric goes down? Fabric or iron-on paper or paper interfacing?
Question. Okay, so if it is which I actually have some right here. Let's see. I'm like a traveling salesman. Here we go. All right. So switch my cameras for, please.
Oh, yep.
All right. So the machine doesn't know what is it. It just knows, do you want me to cut through half of it? Do you want me to cut through all of it? So this fabric right here, I treated it with Cereal Magic. And everyone knows Cereal Magic's like a starch. And the only reason I did that is because I travel around and demo. This has been about 3 years old. And she hasn't really frayed. So the machine will cut all the way through it, no issue. This one has, what is it? Wonder Under on it. Again, the machine doesn't care. It will cut through all of it because I wouldn't want to do a half cut on this. I want to cut through the whole thing, especially if I'm doing appliques. That would be great. So the machine doesn't know. It just knows that you want it to go halfway or all the way through. So you can put it on here. Now, if you are going to cut it out on your mat, do not put this paper on your standard or your fabric mat because you're going to be picking paper off for the rest of your life. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to either put the fabric side down on that standard fabric mat, well, only fabric mat for this, or you're going to want to use a low tack mat for it and put the paper side down. What I would recommend is the fabric side down because it's going to hold the fabric better. The paper, it might slip off. If you didn't iron it on so well, it's going to slip off. So it might as well do fabric side down for that one. All right. Now what we've been waiting for. All right. Courtney, why are you using scissors if you have a ScanNCut? Because I didn't think about putting a box around there because remember, we don't waste vinyl in this house. So this is my favorite part, is weeding it out. It's just like satisfying. Let's see.
It's so easy with the glitter vinyl too.
It really is. I know one of my coworkers, she hates using glitter vinyl. She's like, it's not easy to weed. I'm like, you're doing it wrong. Bring it to me. What is going on here? I won't call her by name, Juanita. But that's what she always said. I'm like, I don't understand. She's like, no, I don't like doing that.
That's like, people when they put their headphones in their pockets and
they come out all
real tangled.
yes.
Like, oh, I hate that. And I'm like, give me. I love to untangle jewelry, headphones.
Ooh,
I love it.
okay. So Cheryl said, I thought the F stood for fabric. Do I understand that you can cut whatever you like?
Anything, everything.
Anything.
Yeah, just don't tell brother. I was kidding. No, you can do vinyl, you can do paper, you can do fabric, you can do thin balsam wood. Done
Yes.
that. That was a lot of fun. That made our tech very nervous. I told him not to look. Alrighty. So here we go. We have our name. He's very cute. And we're going to take it. Remember, 2 parts of vinyl. So there's still that part that's connecting it. So I'm going to take my ribbon. Let's see, where should I go? That you can
I'll
better
change
see
your,
this?
yeah.
Right here?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Okay, QVC. Alrighty. So we're going to put his name on there. And I can see through it. That's the great part is I can see it. You want me to unload the mat?
Yeah, do that.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Look at us. We are acting like professionals. Alrighty. So we're going to get a thin piece of material to put through it. I've seen some people just put the iron straight to it. And if you're fine with that and it's a low temp iron, go for it. But I didn't tell you to do that. You did not hear that from me. So I'm going to put this over. All right. Now I could do a better job of lining it up on the ribbon, but we only have 45 minutes. So, all right. We have our preheated iron right here. I'm just going to go ahead and where's he at? There he is. Start putting it on there.
And this is an awesome little mini Rowenta iron that we sell. It's in our stores, and I believe we sell it online too. This thing's great. Although, don't tell anyone, we accidentally ironed some stuff earlier with the piece of paper still on the sole plate.
In our defense.
Listen, we didn't know. It was fresh out of the box. We needed coffee. We need coffee. Ooh, okay. So while you're ironing that, we have some questions.
Sure.
Diana is wondering, with the fabric face down, she's talking about with the interfacing on, do you also have to mirror the cut? And you could, if you want to.
Yeah.
If it's a name, then yeah.
If it's directional, yeah. If it's a circle, doesn't matter. It's gonna come out like a circle.
Right.
I probably would. I would. It's so easy. Honestly, it's just a click of a button. So why not? It's not like you have to bring it into software or do anything like that, which Brother does have software. It's called Canvas. And what Canvas is that screen that we've been playing on, but bigger. So,
that's great.
And honestly, it's helpful for whenever your places like your job, and you've got a great idea and you want to start doing it, but you're ScanNCut's at home.
Yeah.
Well, you can go ahead and make it. Save it on a USB if you want to, because it is USB capable. It is wireless too. So if your computer's nearby and you've set it up in Canvas, you can just go ahead and send it to it.
Ooh, here's a good question. Let's see. Oh, wait, I just saw it. Where is it? It was from Rebecca. Rebecca's wondering, how would you cut Sherpa fabric?
Okay. So I get this question a lot, especially with like fleece and different stuff like that. You need to make sure that it's a tight wove. What that means is it close enough? Can I see through it? If I can see through it, I probably can't cut it. But if it is a tight enough wove, you can do it. As long as it's under 2 millimeter, though.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, Judy's wondering about your balsa wood experiment. Do you use a regular blade for that?
Yes, and don't tell Brittany. Yes, the black standard blade that we have in here right here, probably the one I would tell you to use. The other one is a tan blade, and that, there we go, is your fabric blade. Now, they call it the tan, I call it the gold because we're fancy like that. But yeah, I would use the black one if you're going to do that.
And Donna's wondering, what temp is your iron for something like this?
A lot lower than it should be. It's taken forever. Honestly, as high as you can go. Well, yeah. I'm spoiled because at home I have a heat press.
Oh yeah.
Yes, that I try to use so much so that way my husband justifies that purchase. He probably has an anniversary gift, bless his heart. I'm sorry, I didn't even show you that. I just threw it like
Whoops.
Like a savage. All right, so what I did just now was take off that plastic. Remember, 2 parts. So that plastic completely gone. She's useless to me. Sorry, plastic. Don't mean to hurt your feelings.
Yes.
And then our name is on our ribbon. There we go.
There it is.
There she is. And what I was doing was, now that that plastic's off, I like to lay it back down and just give it one little press again. Because remember, their children are going to be opening this up and they're savages. So make sure it's really on there. And the great part is this is reusable. You know, they're not going to change their names next year. So we can reuse this every year on their gifts. And then it becomes something of a tradition and something that's good. They're like, I see my name shiny over there on a present. Right. I can see it from afar. That's my gift. And
it's sustainable.
Yeah, it's a nice thing.
Yeah, Beth is saying that her project list is growing. And it is. Me too.
Me too. Me, you both. All right, so that's our ribbon. Now remember, again, I could do it on this ribbon. He has a much longer name, bless him. I could do it on this ribbon, but remember this has usually a wire. It's that wired ribbon. So just kind of stay away that. If you've got a thinner iron, do it on there. But if you were to put it down and put a cloth over it, it's not going to melt it. It'll just be fine. It's not going to get hot enough where it's going to melt that.
And guys, don't forget, we're still doing that $50 giveaway at the end of the show. So comment #AllBrands. That hashtag is scrolling across the bottom of the screen right now. Definitely don't forget to do that. And that will enter you into the giveaway. So there is that. Stay tuned for that.
All right. Now, I feel like we've gotten a lot of questions about fabric.
Yes.
So
we've gotten questions about applique just now, too, from Carla. So
all right, Carla.
Good segue, Carla.
You pulled my leg.
Predicted the future here.
Yes. All right. So what we're going to do, pick this up. So usually my craft table's always cleaned. What are you talking about?
Me too.
All right. So we just threw that on the floor. No one saw that. All right. So something fun that's new on ScanNCut that I get a lot of questions about is applique. Can I do an applique? I have carpal tunnel in my hand, and I usually have to wear a brace every once in a while when it acts up. So using applique scissors to go in there and cut every single thing is just not for me. I'm not about that even before carpal tunnel. So what I want to do is I want to take my applique. We have this cute little applique right here of a puppy with his little Christmas tree. So cute. That's great. Unfortunately, that tree has a lot of bits. The dog has a lot of bits that I would need to cut, and I'm not doing that. So what I can do is with the ScanNCut, I'm going to reach across, sorry. It's USB capable. What you're going to do is you're going to create your design, your software, or you're going to buy it on Etsy. We love supporting small business. You know, allbrands.com is a small business. We'll go into that later. What you're going to do is you're going to put it on your USB. Because remember, we're going to put it in our machine like this. We're also going to put it in our ScanNCut like this because these models can now read PES files. Courtney, what is that? Great question. What that is an embroidery file. So for Brother, it's PES. The ScanNCut, since it is a Brother machine, can read PES and turn it into an SVG. What is an SVG? An SVG is a cut file. That's what the machine reads to be able to cut. So what it's going to do is it's going to transfer that PES into an SVG. There are newer models that can do the other way and go from an SVG cut file into a PES file. And that's really cool.
It's awesome.
But you have to have an XP2 to do it.
Yes.
So if you have an XP2, a scan and cut because
Oh,
that's
absolutely.
really cool.
The newest model of ScanNCut, I think it's the 325.
Yes.
It can do that. It can communicate wirelessly,
Yes.
might I add,
Yes.
with your XP2. So
let's
awesome.
let's do it. I've talked about it. Let's show it. All right. So I have my USB. Nothing fancy about it. I stole it from my husband. We're gonna put it in the machine. Let's see. Sorry, I'm gonna reach across. There we go. All right. We're gonna go home. No place like home. All righty. So when we come to this screen, what are we going to do? Do we want to scan? Do we want to pan it? Do we want to test cut? No, Jordan, we don't. We're going to go to retrieve data. All right. Where do we want to retrieve our data? We can retrieve it from our machine. We can retrieve it from our computer. Our computer's USB, because remember, she's wireless. But for this instance, I want to go from the USB I just put into the machine. All righty. Now what this is you're going to see SVG files that were from when I did little pumpkin shirts and Halloween shirts for my son. But if you notice, this one that says pup tree right here, or pup tree, there is no SVG. That one says hello, truck from pumpkin. It's fall, y'all. Yeah, I did that. All right, so we want PES right here because there is no SVG for him. He's very cute. See the outline of him. What we're going to do. Now, some people, like I think Embroidery Garden, I forget, there's a few different ones. Kimberbell, they'll give you a cut file in with the other ones, but we don't have that. So this one was just one I found on Etsy. So we're going to click this little flower. Okay, we can resize it if we want to. I don't want to because this is the exact size that I'm going to make my applique. So I'm going to say, okay. Okay, and now what you see is different ones that she's giving you the option. She's giving you, this is the stitches. She's giving you a complete outline of all of it. And she's giving you every single little piece. So if we wanted to cut the tree and the puppy, we would select that one. But Courtney, I noticed that the star on the tree is connected. How do I just get that star? Because remember, the machine's making this up for us. This was not something that the designer of that design gave us. This is something we're creating out of thin air. So we're going to go here. We're going to go to the one with every single piece. We're going to hit this coloring right here, and it's going to bring up every single piece of that design for us. And if you notice right here, there's our star. So if I want to cut out just my star, I would select OK, and then OK, set. And then I have it right there. Now, what if I want to lay out my puppy and my tree on there? I would hit add. I would go back. Oh, sorry. Add, pattern, retrieve data from my USB, my puppy. There we go. Okay. And I want just the outline. So now, select OK, set. There's my puppy and there's my tree. Now I can cut off the star if I want to. After it cuts it, I can just cut it with scissors. It doesn't matter. But once it does cut it out, there's my tree. There's my puppy. And I lost my star, but here's what it did come out. And once we've done that, we stitch her out. I don't have my machine on me right here. But we stitch her out. Oh, thank you.
There you go.
This is why we keep you around. And we stitch her out, and there she is. And I did not have to take my scissors to cut it out. The machine will cut it out for me, which is awesome. Where'd you get that design? I got it off of Etsy. Etsy's awesome. Small businesses are wonderful. They are really, really wonderful. If you can find those designers that have their own website, because Etsy does take a cut, find them. Find the ones that you like.
Absolutely.
Test out different ones because not everyone makes their designs equal. I found out the hard way. So,
and you could put this on you could put that on hand towels for your bathroom.
Yeah, this is the hand towel. This is just, well, because I mean, honestly, my kitchen is done in these colors. So if I want to personalize something for Christmas and I want to stay within my colors still, I'm going to do this and I'm going to personalize it for myself. Speaking of personalization, if you notice down here, I'll pull it up. This, actually, let's switch cameras.
Yeah.
All right. This right here, there's a very confused 4-year-old at my house right now because I took his tree skirt off of his tree that's in his bedroom. And what this was is I was looking at his tree skirt one night and I was like, it's really boring. It's just red. I love the scalloped edges, but I wish it was more. And his tree, his theme is very traditional Christmas, very kid Christmas. And I was like, oh, reindeer. You know, my nephew, he loves deer, reindeer. So I was like, he'll get a smile out of his face. Well, we have to put the Douthat, our last name initial, on there. And then after a while, I was like, you know what? He needs to be on this side. But now when I go in his room, it's something bright, something shiny that really amplifies that area. But with that also, I made custom ornaments. The same deer, and this deer is built into the machine. I did not have to scan him in or buy him off of Etsy. I just had it in the machine. So now there's that cohesive look with this deer that I can now put on multiple ornaments and the deer that's on his tree skirt. And I could add on to that. I could do a gingerbread house. I could do, you know, candy canes and put that on the tree skirt and then put it on different ornaments and really stagger it around. This ornament was from the Dollar Tree. This is $1. You could probably get them cheaper other places too. But this was something that's very inexpensive that I now put a personal touch. And again, I could have put his name on it if I wanted to or something like that. But I put a reindeer. I could have added his name underneath really little because the ScanNCut can write and cut out really, really small if I wanted it to.
It's a great like Christmas gift. You could put like a, you know, somebody's initial on that.
Oh, yeah. And
give
then
it to
put
them,
that on there, tie it on there with a bit of ribbon or a bit
Done
of
and done.
string. You've now given them an ornament, which is a present. And you've also jazzed up their gift a little bit, which I've done in the past. All right. So we've done that. Let's see. All right. Next one. Let's see. Let's do the gift box.
Yeah.
Okay. Now you've heard me cut fabric. You've seen me cut vinyl. But let's cut paper. What is this? This, and some people are familiar. If you have a ScanNCut, you've probably seen this, especially the previous model, the 225. This is the first project that they give you to do on the ScanNCut. It is built in. What this is one piece of paper. There was nothing I had to do particularly different. This was one solid piece of paper, and we'll do it. This is one piece of paper. And what that does is it's built in ScanNCut. They have one where it has the drawing on it. So you could put your initial or whatever you want, and it will draw it for you first, and then it will cut it out for you. And all you have to do is fold it. And it has like a little crown on it. My sister, her little girl, her first birthday was like princess themed and stuff. And how cute would this be for a little gift? You know how they do little favors? You just put a few pieces of candy or whatever you want in this, and this becomes your little favor box. And all you've had to do was buy paper. And we know we all have a stock of cardstock that we haven't used because we needed that one color for that one project a few years ago. I'm looking at you, Jordan. All right. So look at that. How cute. Yeah, let's make one.
Let's do it.
All
so
right.
Karen's wondering, while you're doing that, Karen's wondering, is your preference for Material Magic or a product like Hot Fix for interfacing?
I know the guy that makes Hot Fix. And he showed me one time. And I was like, oh, this will be neat. And for ScanNCut projects, especially, think about this. Okay, you know how we made our applique? This was a design I bought. But you remember how that has so many designs built in? We can turn any one of those into an applique. So if you don't have an actual digitized stitch, like a satin stitch, we could just stitch over it very slowly, you know, and go along the edges as, you know, slow as possible. And something like that is really, really helpful to help it stay down. Because we're just stitching over, you could stitch over multiple times, but something like that's really going to adhere it. So I highly recommend that product. If you're going to do appliques that are custom, especially off the machine, or you scan something in that doesn't have an actual, you know, stitch out, something like that would be really great. That's a great question. Thank you.
Ooh, Cheryl's wondering if this machine can do rhinestones.
Oh my God, Cheryl, it's fun. It's fun. I have 4 boys, and they're not huge on rhinestones. But when I can put a rhinestone on something, I will do it. And what this is it's not built into your machine. The newer models have like a trial that come with it that will show you what the rhinestone kit is. But the rhinestone kit is a separate thing that you can purchase.
Yes.
And what it does is instead of a line, see how we're doing lines and cutting lines, it cuts little bitty circles on that line. And that's going to make a template that you now pour your rhinestones into, shake, they all go the correct way, use transfer tape, and you transfer that to a whatever fabric you want to adhere your rhinestones onto. Especially a stocking would be great right now. Now this one I did with vinyl at the top, but think I could have put his name right here with rhinestones. I could have put it there with rhinestones. He's a little boy and he's 2 and he won't know yet, but it would have been a lot of fun. So rhinestone kit, definitely something. Whenever someone has a new machine, they ask me, Courtney, what kits? Because there's a foiling kit, there's an embossing kit, there's the rhinestone kit. There's so many different kits. Which kit do I need first? And I always say, and the owner hates when I say this, so don't watch, John. None of them. You need none of them right now. What you need to do is open your machine, do the first project, and learn your machine, play with your machine. And once you've got that under your belt, expand to the kits. It's like collecting.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to collect the different kits, and you're going to know by then, what do I enjoy doing? Do I like going to Disney World? And do I want a rhinestone Mickey on a hat? Jordan's shaking her head yes. Do I want that? Then the rhinestone kit's for you. Do I want to add a bit of foil to my Christmas cards? Yes, the foil kit's for you. Do I want to emboss cards or emboss paper ornaments for my tree? Then the embossing kit's for you. There's tons of different kits, and we might do videos with them later on, but there's tons of different kits. But you need to understand what's in your arsenal, and then you can add on to that and really start showing off your skills. Alrighty, sorry that long speech. So let's go ahead and do a paper one. Let's see. Let's do blue. I did yellow earlier. I don't have red or green. Shame on me with Christmas. All right, let's go. Now, remember how I told you that that one that I did was built in. This is about learning your arsenal. What do you have? If we scroll down, you'll see the different little ones on here. So we're going to go here. We're going to scroll down. And if you notice right here, that looks like a 3D image. I'm going to select it. Here are your different boxes, your different things. Those are roses. You cut them out, you bind them together, and make a beautiful little rose to add to a card or to everything.
So cool.
There are so many things you do, and I tell people this all the time. You are only limited by your creativity and Pinterest. Anything else you can do. There's so many different things. Try it. What's the harm of trying something? You're not going to hurt it. And if you do, don't tell the tech I told you to do that. All right. So this one right here, if you've had a ScanNCut previously, that is the first project. Because why? Because they want you to draw and cut. A lot of people tell me, Courtney, I've never opened my machine before. It's been sitting in a box because I'm scared. And that is justified. It's a really cool product. You got really excited about it, but you were excited about it because you wanted to do it. So let's do it. So we get that one out. Let's go ahead and do this one. We're going to select it. We can size it however big or small we want it. We want a really big one, we can do a really big one. We want a really small one, we can do a really small one. Now me, I don't have any 12 by 12 cardstock with me. Shame on me, I know. So I'm going to go ahead and size it down a little. And we can honestly do multiple if we wanted to do multiple at the same time. Now the ScanNCut comes with a 12 by 12 mat. However, there is a 12 by 24 mat that is available for it. All right. Let's see. I just tried to move something that was on the edit screen. No one saw that deal. All right. So we're going to hit set and we're going to put it on there. That's pretty small. I think it's smaller than the one I did before. Now, if I'm cutting out paper, I'm going to use my low-tech mat. Now, if you've had a ScanNCut previously, you'll remember it used to be that it was both directions that you could scan it in. Now it's one direction, because brother gave us a nifty little place to hang it if we wanted to hang it, because these are sticky. It has a plastic film over it. So I don't know about you, but I don't hang it, but that's very nice of them to give us. All right, so we're going to go ahead and load her in. I guess you could hang it if you're cleaning it and drying it. And we'll all go over how to clean your mats. All right, so we have it on there. We're going to put our piece of paper on. Might make the image a little bit bigger because I could go bigger. That's the nice part. All right, so let's go a little bit bigger. Okay. Let's see. And again, it's nice that the mat and the machine have the exact same ruler on it so you can see. All right, now, if you notice, we hit OK. We hit set or OK. Please select. Remember, I told you this one had drawing and cutting. You could add drawing to anything. So you could add it to honestly, piece of paper, balsam wood, you could draw on that. But I want to draw first. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out my blade, because remember this is a blade. Push it down here. There's your blade. Don't do that because you'll poke yourself. I did it the other day at a demo and had to pretend I did poke myself. And the lady was like, ma'am, I think you're bleeding.
Oh no.
And I was like, I'm not bleeding. You are. So we're going to take that one out. And we're going to take this one. Courtney, what is this? Thank you for asking. What this is the drawing holder. You're going to hit the back of it. And this comes with your machine. You do not have to buy this separately. And Brother gives you these little bitty markers. Let's see. They give you these markers that fit perfectly into here. Now, people are like, why is there 2 different packs? And that's a great question. What this is these are drawing markers right here. Everyday drawing markers, just regular markers. These 2 are set aside because they're for quilters or anyone that wants to use them. The purple one is a air soluble marker, and the white or blue one is a water soluble. So remember how you have your air and your water soluble pens? They've given you those.
That's awesome.
Now remember I said it had quilt patterns in there? Here you go.
Yep. You cut out your blocks.
You can cut them out, but what this can do is draw your seam allowance, because you can add seam allowance to any image on here, any image you scan in. So on your quilt blocks, especially for new quilters, if I'm ever teaching someone to quilt, I like to put my seam allowance, or whenever I'm home alone, I like to put my seam allowance because I can't sew a straight line without them, okay? Don't judge me. All right, so those are what those 2 are. Those are really great to have on your arsenal. But I want to draw, and I don't want it to go away, so I'm going to take a regular marker. I think I'm going to do green because this is a pretty dark paper. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop it in. Now, do you have to only use Brother ones in here? Yes, I've seen that's kind of the only one that fits because it doesn't have an opening at the top for another marker to go through. But what they do sell is a universal pen holder, and that one can hold Sharpies, thin Sharpies, anything like that. You just have to make sure that it can fit into that barrel. But that one fits a lot of other markers that aren't Brother branded. This one is Brother branded, but it comes with your machine. So we're going to put it in our holder. We're going to lock her down. If you ever notice for some reason this isn't going to lock down, something's wrong, just pick it back up, put it back in. It's like one of those, have you turned it off and turned it back in or back on a thing? So what we have that, now we're going to hit draw. We're going to hit start, and it's going to go ahead and draw it for us. And it knows that the drawing holder's in there. So if I had accidentally, for some reason, put the cutting blade in there, it would tell me, hey, you just told me to draw and you're putting a cutting blade. Something's wrong here. It's trying to take some of that user error out of it. Good luck, machine.
Courtney, do you know what weight cardstock you're using right now? Rebecca was curious about the weight.
So you should probably use a nice thick one. I do so many projects and crafts and everything that honestly, this is just a cheap one from Walmart. It will draw on there no matter what. Is it nice to do a thick one for stuff? Yes. But if it's just something I'm doing for fun or something like that, or I'm doing a ton of them, I don't want to spend a ton of money. We've already spent enough money on our supplies. Let's try to cut costs where we can, but you can use a thick one. The machine doesn't care. Like I said, under 2 millimeter. If you can find a cardstock that is above 2 millimeter, oh my geez. So we've drawn. So that's great. She's beautiful. If I wanted to put my initial there, think of wedding favors, put the bride and groom's and wedding initial right there. And you could have that. It'd be so easy. So we're going to go ahead and select again. And this time we're going to cut because we want to cut our box. I'm going to take out my drawing one. And what you should do that moment is take the marker out, put the top back on so it doesn't dry out, or don't put it in your pocket and find it in your laundry a few days later. That's no fun. So let's go ahead and we're going to close that. All right. So I almost put this in there. Why is it bad that I would have put that in there? Because those are my fabric scissors. Remember, tan is fabric, and gold because we're fancy. So we're going to put that to the side. We're going to use our black one. So let's put her in. Okay. And we're going to go ahead and hit start. Now, if you notice she had a timer on there, she's going to let us know how long it's going to take to cut. So that way we can go get a snack. We can go do something else. It's one of those, what is it, set it and forget it or whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
With the previous model, you couldn't have paid me to walk away from this thing. I used to hover and put my hands on it and be like, okay, is she moving? Is she good? Is she okay? She's okay. You're okay? Okay, good. And then I would just hover for a long time. have a lot of PTSD from that.
Sherry's wondering, will the 225F both scan and cut? And yes, it absolutely will. We scanned something a little bit earlier, but you may have missed it. Yeah, we can do it again. Y'all, it's really awesome. Now, while this machine's cutting, because it does have a second, I'm going to go ahead and pull up our overlay for the 225F. This machine is so awesome, and you can buy it online right now. You can buy it online for $599.99 plus free shipping. So if you are looking to, ask somebody for, somebody might ask you, what do you want for Christmas? Maybe you want the SDX225F. Go ahead and take a look at it, y'all. It comes with the thin fabric auto blade and holder. It comes with the standard auto blade and holder, the color pen set like Courtney just showed you, and that erasable pen set, the fabric mat, the standard tack mat, and it also comes with everything you need for a starter keychain project, which I think is super cool. And also those awesome applique contact sheets and all of those built-in designs and over $840 in added value. Y'all, that is like more than the machine costs that you're getting extra. It's great. It is so, so, so great. So if you're looking for, another, maybe a little something, if your husband asks you, what do you want for Christmas? Maybe you want one of these.
I will say that is way less than what I paid for mine, so I'm a little offended. But I've had mine for a little bit. But also with this is I get a lot of people that are like, Courtney, I see a cutter I've seen at Walmart and it's cheaper than this. Why do I need the Brother ScanNCut? One, because it can scan. Two, because you're buying it from AllBrands and it is a family owned and operated business.
Yes.
And what that means is you're not buying it from a big store. If you need help with this, are you going to call Walmart and ask them, hey, how do I do this project? I've done this. What do I do now? And they're going to tell you, ma'am, this is a Walmart. We don't,
That's it.
We don't know what you're talking about. But with AllBrands, you call and you get people that actually know the machine that are excited about this. Me, I'm in purchasing. I sit behind a desk. And the reason that they brought me out for this is because I love the ScanNCut. I have fun. I know you're dumb, but you're going to have to wait, girl. I love this. It's fun for me. It's enjoyable for me. So if you have questions, you get me. You get someone to answer your questions that have done it. You get someone that will watch a billion videos that you've sent them.
Yes.
Because you're like, Courtney, am I doing this right? And I'm like, yes, Miss Shirley, you're doing it right. And it's great. And I'm excited to see your projects. And it is people. And that's what small business, especially family-owned businesses, is a great thing about them, is that you're getting people to be able to help you with this project. You're not going to take the machine home with you and be alone. You're going to have someone that can answer and support you 24/7, because we do have our website, allbrands.com, where you can email, you can call our 1-800 number, and we'd be happy to help you any way we can. So, bushy aside. All right, let's see. Did I have half cut on?
I think, no, did you leave half cut on? No.
Oh, they're like, I don't want to call her.
One of the classic blunders.
Half
No.
cut on. That's okay. We can do it again. Let me turn half cut off.
Also, I think it's really important, and somebody else pointed this out earlier. I think it may have been Josie, was like, it's really refreshing to know that I'm not the only one making mistakes here.
Oh,
Believe me,
speaking
you're
of
not.
that,
You are not.
Josie, to make you feel better, when years and years ago, we won't say how many years, okay, we're not going to show my age. Years ago, they came to me and they're like, Courtney, there's a new machine downstairs. It's called the ScanNCut. And I'm like, what is that? What does it do? And they're like, come see it. So I go downstairs and they're like, oh yeah, we're cutting out all this cool stuff. And this was before auto blades, way back when. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to cut something out. I'm excited. So I type in my name, Courtney, and I cut it out. And I cut straight through the mat. I can't blame it on anyone because I'm the only Courtney here. So I have to tell them, hey guys, you know that machine you just unboxed a minute ago?
Whoops.
I've ruined the mat. And they're like, that's fine. It comes with additional ones. So I always tell people, you can mess up. It's all fixable. Now with the auto blade, that issue is gone. You can't cut through your mat. I say that. I let my mother-in-law borrow her machine one time. She doesn't remember what happened, but I've never seen anyone be able to cut through the mat. But again, she can do whatever she wants. She wants. All right, so she's cutting out. I turned half cut off. Why do we not want half cut? Because we want to cut all the way through our cardstock. It's not vinyl with those two parts. So we want to be able to do that. That's user error right there. That's what that is. Do we have any other questions while she's finishing up?
Yeah, it looks like Sherry had another question. She
Yeah.
sent it before she was able to finish the question. She was wondering, will it scan and cut on the 12 by 20 format? Because the one that she has right now won't.
Okay, it will. And what I love to tell people is, I have a lot of people who are like, Courtney, how does this relate to sewing clothes? How can I do anything with this? I'm a seamstress. I don't really craft, all these things with vinyl. And what I tell you is, I have a little boy, and he loves wearing the John Johns, but children's Cornish John Johns. Love it. So I have the pattern, and I want to make a ton of them. I want to be able to give them to my nieces, my nephews, and things like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pattern. Remember, John John, they're for kids. They're not huge. I take my 12 by 24 mat. I put my pattern on there. I scan it in, save it to my machine. So now all I have to do is put my fabric on my cutting mat, and I cut out pattern after pattern after pattern after pattern. And I can assembly align them and get them all done. The lining that has to go inside that John John, I can cut it out. The fabric, I can cut it out, and I'll save it to my machine. So then that way I don't have to look for a paper pattern later on. It's already on my machine. Or I could save it to a USB, and I've already got that SVG file on that USB. So that's what I've found really, really great about that 12 by 24 mat, is to be able to do things like that are a little bit bigger than a 12 by 12. He wouldn't be able to fit 12 by 12. He's a big old kid. But that 12 by 24 mat, that gives me that length that I need. All right, she is almost done. Any other questions?
Let's see. I don't think we have any. I haven't noticed any other ones. Oh, Stephanie was wondering if the quilt in the back was done on the ScanNCut. Stephanie, I'm honestly not sure. This is something that some of our awesome associates in the Baton Rouge store made, and they graciously lent it to us to use in the background for the holidays. But isn't that so pretty? I'm pretty sure that these are all designs that were stitched out on a luminaire. I could be mistaken, but I'm fairly certain. And look at how easy that was. It just comes right off.
Now,
look at that.
You've got all this extra. So if I wanted to cut something else, again, I could just use this. The great thing about it is it's not going to waste material. Material is expensive enough. Let's use every bit that we can. So let's go ahead and take it off.
Easy peasy.
Now, if you notice, I don't know if you noticed those little bitty details. And
really intricate.
Smaller. Here's where it drew. So let's go ahead and close it up. Remember, that is built into the machine. Yes. Now, what people don't notice, and I don't know if you can see this, and I'll try to go as close as I can, is right here, you notice that it's kind of folding because it did perforated dots for me. So that way, it's easy for me just to fold right up. Isn't that crazy?
Oh my gosh, Kathy just ordered a 225F. I'm so excited for you, Kathy. You are going to love it. You are going to love it. And Judy said she received a roll feeder and is wondering what she uses that for. Okay. Judy, the roll feeder is great for longer rolls of vinyl. You can cut up to 6 feet of vinyl, I think, on that roll feeder. It's great for wall decals. Maybe you have like a body pillow or something you want to do a whole design on. And look at that, y'all. Look at that little box. That is just so cute.
Now, back to the roll feeder, what I did was my friend, she wanted to do Peter Pan themed for her nursery. And I was like, great. She's like, Courtney, can you take that roll feeder thing you just got and do decals? I want leaves and acorns and his name. And I want to put it all the way around as a border. And then I want to do the Peter Pan and Wendy and all them flying. Can you help me with that? Absolutely. So what we did was we cut them out on that roll feeder, and we had multiple lines because it wasn't too thick. And we went up there and we just put the decals slowly as we go. It took us maybe an hour from start to finish. Now, if her husband asked, it took us all day, and that's why we're exhausted and needed Mexican food for him to pick up. All right, so the little box is done. We love her. She's very, very cute. We could have drawn anything. It didn't have to be this little circle. There was one that's just blank, and we could have told you to put a heart. We could put a name, like I said, wedding favors. We could have put the couple's initials on there. Any wedding person, they love when you put initials. So the ScanNCut's great for that. Mm-hmm. But like I said, anything, these are just like perfect little party favors that you can put on the table. And we've made something 3D with the ScanNCut, which is a lot of fun.
Rebecca's wondering if you can show where that pattern was. She wants to put some cash in those for her grandkids for Christmas.
That is such a good
I love that.
Oh my goodness, that is such a good idea. I'm not stealing that. So you're going to go to pattern. You're going to go right here. No, not the letters.
Not the letters.
Sorry, I was trying to look at the camera and do it. There we go. Right here. You're going to scroll down. And remember, we're recording this, so you can always go back to it.
Yes.
And right here is the 3D one. So remember, those are rosettes right there that you can do. That one is like a 3D little box. It's really fun. And then that one's just the blank one of the one we made. This one has that little circle design already centered and built in for you. But if you want to add your own thing or to and froms, that's the one you would need. And then you would just add in and bring in your to and from or whatever you wanted to you could put in the deer we've been using or anything else.
Guys, I love it. I love it so much. And yeah, this machine has like what, 600 built-in designs. Let me go ahead and pull up that overlay for you again one more time. Yeah, it's got it's $600 worth of built-in designs. That's where I was getting that number from.
Yeah.
Y'all. It has so much. There's so much you can do with this. I am obsessed with this machine. And if you are curious, if you want if you want to look into some stuff that is that's not just holiday themed, check out our YouTube channel if you're not watching this on YouTube. We just shared let me double check. Oh no, that one should be going up very soon though. We have a video from Heather Banks that she so graciously did for us, demoing some other things on the SDX225F, showing you exactly some other things that you can do with this machine. It is just so cool. And we have some other questions. So Karen's wondering about Canvas Workspace. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So Canvas Workspace is the free software that Brother gives you technically. It is absolutely free. You get it with your machine. I've heard some crazy things about people having to buy subscriptions to different cutting machines. I'm sorry. I just paid money for the machine and you want me to buy a subscription? So what that is this screen that you see on the ScanNCut, but bigger. And it does have additional features, great welding tools and different things like that. You can weld on here, but this is just so much easier. And you could have it on your laptop or your desktop top in your own convenience and be able to be away from the machine if you don't have a sewing room where it's all laid next to each other. And be able to design a lot bigger. I know with my husband, his eyes, his glasses, he doesn't prefer to try to look at the screen. A lot more. He likes the bigger screen. Yeah. So it's really helpful for that, to be able to see it a lot larger and have it on there. And plus with Canvas, they give you free projects. They have them all on there. They never delete them. So if you see a project from 3 years ago, you can go on there and type in Christmas. It's going to pull up every single Christmas one that they've ever had. And all the projects are free for you to have, which is really, really
all
great.
you need to do, I think, is register. And that's it.
But you want to register your machine either way, especially if you get the kits, then you have to register your kits to be able to activate them on your machine. So it's all, Canvas is completely free. It comes with your machine. It's a great tool to have. A lot of people are like, well, I haven't logged on to Canvas. I'm like, why? There's so many tools on there to use. So it's pretty great.
So many things at your disposal there.
Yes.
So we had, we were going to talk about another ornament, I think. So let's talk about that too while we're here, since we finished the box. And then we have one more thing we're going to show you, and then we're going to go ahead and pull for that giveaway. But I hope you guys are enjoying the show. And if you haven't yet, if you've missed, if you've missed the beginning of this by any chance, that's okay, because you can go back and rewatch this entire video as soon as we go off the air. It's going to be available on our Facebook and our YouTube. So if you missed anything, if there's maybe something that you want to follow along, like if you didn't see where a certain design was on the ScanNCut, just go back and watch this video at the replay, or once the replay is up. It will be there forever and ever. Amen. So it's there for good. It's there to stay. We are here to help you. We are here to give you these tips and tricks. And just a little sneak peek, Courtney and I did film some other tutorials earlier today. So somebody was asking about that little cork Christmas tree that's stuck to the wall right behind Courtney. We have a video coming up on that very soon, so don't miss out on that. It's going to be really, really cool. So Courtney, here, I'll cut it back to you so you can.
I stuck it to the tree because the wall, because I thought it was cute, but also
it's so cute.
So what this is I cut it out of cork, and I think I have that piece right here. Cut it out of cork. Perfectly fine. And what I did was I cut extra vinyl pieces and I made them into little ornaments, and I cut a vinyl piece and made it into a star. And what I was thinking, and I said it in the other one, is this would have been great Advent, because you could have made your own custom stickers or bought the kids Christmas stickers, and they could put a sticker on there, and you could have made it a lot larger than this. I just made a small one. And then that way you've made your own Advent calendar. That's a lot of fun. And this vinyl was sticky, so I just stuck them to the wall. There you go. Come
there it is.
Your own little holder. All right. I had a lot the question of, can you scan and cut with this one? Yes, it is a ScanNCut. So what this is this was a tree that I found online. Nothing special. I typed in Christmas tree. I didn't like the ones that were stick. I wanted something to kind of pull up on it. So I printed this out, regular computer paper. I could have printed anything. It didn't even have to be black and white. So what I'm doing is I'm putting this in my scanning mat. Do you need a scanning mat? Yes and no. So the scanning mat, it just makes it easier to scan things. It just automatically will go into the machine. There's nothing sticky about this, so I'm not hurting the paper. If for some reason it was something I didn't want to actually put on the sticky. But you can do it on a low tack mat. You can scan in with a low tack mat. You can scan in with any of the mats. Do I recommend putting paper on anything other than that low tack mat and this scanning mat? No. No, I don't. So what we can do is we can scan her in. And this is a super simple one. You could have done a lot more complicated. This was just one that I actually personally wanted. So let's see. Okay. Let's see. I stepped on this mat earlier, so Oops. She's mad at me. Oh, she's doing a low tack. Don't step on your mats. Maybe that's why they put the holder on there, and I just don't listen. There we go. Let's put it on here. All righty. There we go. All righty. I'm just smoothing it out there to make sure it stays on, but it'll be fine. All right. Now you have 3 different options. We can direct cut, which is fine. If we had our scanning mat in there, it wouldn't be an option because we don't want to cut our scanning mat. We can direct cut to this paper, but I don't want to direct cut because I don't want to cut it out of this paper. We could scan to cut data, or we could send it to a USB. But I want to scan to data, so I want to save it on my machine. All right. Is it thick? It's not. So I'm going to go ahead and hit start.
And there it is.
That's
it. Just scan straight in. Yeah, right. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
Have a great day. All right, here she's back. Let's stop talking about her. She's back. All righty. So it's recognizing it currently, and it's turning that scanned image that we just did into an SVG. Which remember,
that's so cool.
That's our cut file. So she's automatically changing it. There she is.
There it is.
Now she's asking me, do I want the inner parts? Do I want both? Or do I just want the outer? For this particular one, I just want the outer. So she's processing it. Now, if you notice, there's other things on here that were on my mat. So I can actually just zoom in on just the stuff that I wanted.
Take out that watermark. Done.
Yeah.
Right there.
Now, the scary part is, if you saw me scan that, that was nothing. That was something I could find on the internet. I always tell people, you can buy designs. Buying designs great, support small businesses. But with a ScanNCut, you can turn anything into something that you can cut out. You can draw. You can do anything with it. So know that you literally can create anything you want to create. So where do we want to save? I'm going to save to my machine.
Yes, Judy, you do not have to scan on your printer and then cut out appliques. Nope. You can do all of that on this ScanNCut.
All right, so she's saved. Let's go ahead and do that. Yeah, like if I wanted to turn that Christmas tree into an applique, remember custom applique, and I wanted to put backing on it. There you go. You've just created one. You want to do Santa, an elf, you want multiple pieces, you can do that. So we're going to go home. We're going to retrieve our data. We're going to go retrieve it from our machine. We're going to scroll all the way to the bottom. Oh, this is something I do want to show you. See right there? That's our AllBrands logo that was on a piece of paper, and I scanned it in.
And boom.
And see, itty bitty, all the little bitty details, even the swoop, are all on here. And I've just made them. That's a crawfish. We want to talk about him. So, all right, we're going to go down to the bottom. There's our Christmas tree. I did one earlier. All righty. And yes, I have a dinosaur on there. I made a shirt for my nephew. That's the thing. When you tell someone you've got this, they get really excited. They're like, but could you make this? And I'm like, yes, I can. Can you make this? Absolutely. So there's our Christmas tree. I can now draw him. I can cut him out of vinyl. I can cut him out of cork. I can cut him out of fabric. I could cut him out of anything that I want to cut him out. I can draw him, foil, whatever.
So easy.
So let's take this to the top. We're going to edit, object edit. We're going to make him smaller because I want to put him somewhere. And I want to put him something very small. Because we know we can go big, but how small can we go? Anyone ever asked that question?
Let's so see. Tiny.
we can go very tiny if we wanted
That is
to.
such a tiny little tree.
But those are so tiny. And what if I want multiple? Hit that. Add as many as you want. I'm just putting 2. And there you are. Okay. So if I wanted 2 little bitty Christmas trees. Now remember, if it's hard for you to grab it, you can always do the arrows and be able to do that. It's just my habit to bring them up to the top. You don't have to. All right. We're going to hit OK. And I think we're going to actually do it out of a pressure sensitive vinyl. I've done heat vinyl, but let's see a pressure sensitive vinyl.
Let's try it.
Where did I put my pressure sensitive vinyl?
Courtney, everyone is loving this demo.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh, good.
Like when I tell you, the comments have just been so full of like, we love Courtney. It's been the entire demonstration.
And if that wasn't the case, you'd lie to me, right?
Oh yeah.
She's like, oh yeah, no.
Oh yeah.
I don't want to hurt her feelings. All right, now we're doing pressure sensitive vinyls. Remember, that's the one with the paper backing. Oh, there we go.
Yep,
Paper
there it is.
backing, vinyl on the other side.
Perfect.
We want to do a half cut.
Oh my gosh, Karen said you can make confetti trees to stick in your little ornament.
Fun!
Genius. See, again, you can if you can think it up, this machine will help you make it work, like make it possible. Like it will happen.
All right, so we've got our vinyl. This is our pressure sensitive vinyl. Remember, that's anything we want to put a wall decal, anything that we don't want to put heat on. I do not want to put heat on this. All right, so we've got our trees. We're going to hit OK. We're going to do please select. We want to cut. Now, we couldn't draw it on the vinyl. That would have been fine. Let it dry and it would have drew. Sorry. She's like, Courtney. All right.
Oh, wait, don't forget about half cut.
Ah, there we go.
We've been burned before by half cut.
Burned before. Half cut on. There you go. All righty. Test cut. No, Jordan. Hit start.
No test cuts in this house.
Not in this house.
Not in this studio.
Don't come right at me when you mess up.
See, that's the fun part about this is crafting.
And you know what? You know what's crazy is that every time we do demos on like a ScanNCut, we get so many comments that are like, I've had my ScanNCut for the last year and I've never touched it. Guys, it's so easy. I know it looks overwhelming and it can be kind of scary that you have so many options, but use that to your advantage.
Yes.
You know, there are so many different things that you can do. The sky's the limit. And look at that. It's already done cutting.
Oh.
Done and done.
I got distracted. I was like, oh, she's done. Okay.
Mary wants to know, where's the Courtney YouTube channel? She wants to sign up.
Hey, if y'all ask, I will do more on AllBrands. They've been asking me. Like I said, I'm not a salesperson of any kind. I work in the purchasing department.
Barbara says that you should be a brother ambassador, so we're gonna have brother up about that one.
Yeah, they've tried. Hey, if you go to Houston Coal Festival, they're trying to pull my leg into going next year. All right, so we have. Oh, there we go.
There it is.
We have our little bitty trees. Now, could I pull this off like a sticker? Absolutely. But if you had something that had multiple items on there, I don't want to pull it off that way. I want to use what's called transfer tape. What transfer tape is it's kind of just like regular tape, but it's got these cool lines in there that I can work with. Let me get some off real quick.
Terry wants an in-store demo in Lafayette.
Terry, I love you.
Oh my gosh, Joanne Banco's in the chat.
Hi,
So
Joanne.
great to see you, Joanne. Thank you so much for stopping by. So wait, okay, so we're putting this on our transfer.
The transfer tape on.
Okay.
Here. And what this is going to do, we're going to kind of scratch it, make sure it stays on there and everything like that. And then we're going to slowly peel it off. And what that's going to do, especially if we had a name, remember we had John's name earlier?
Yes.
There we go. We had John's name earlier. What that's going to do is it's going to hold it all together because not like, remember, heat had that clear plastic that stayed on for us to be able to. Well, pressure sensitive, she didn't get that. Okay. So transfer tape is going to be your best friend to be able to do that.
Yes.
So I want to transfer her over onto this ornament. Oops, there we are.
Ooh.
So I have this little bitty ornament. I'm going to put this Christmas tree. I don't know if I'm lining it up correctly, but we're going to do our best.
We're going to find out.
All right. Well, the transfer tape is, all right, let's see if I can, there we go. Transfer tape is clear. So you can see exactly where you're going to put it. And then I'm just going to smooth it out onto the ornament.
And this is great to do on like the back of your car. Like if you had like a window decal that you wanted to make, this is the way to do it.
Okay. We're just going to push out any of our bubbles because this is a rounded item. And we've just added a Christmas tree onto this ornament.
Look at that.
Could we have added names? I was at a farmer's market the other day and I saw this lady have these exact ornaments from the Dollar Tree. And she was personalized them at the farmer's market with people's name. They would request a name. It would take her a few minutes to do it on her ScanNCut. And I geeked out really hard when I saw her. And she personalized them. And she was selling them, and people were lining up because they were like, I can get a personalized ornament right here. And I think one lady ordered one for her grandsons. I forgot how many grandkids she had, but she ordered one for every single one of them to give them a personalized one on her tree. So when they came over, they saw Meemaw thought of me, and there's an ornament just for me. Yeah. Now we have our other one. I could put her down here if I wanted to, or wherever I wanted to put it on here.
Oh my gosh, Becky Thompson is here watching. Becky! She says you're doing an amazing job. Such great ideas. It's so great to see you in the chat, Becky. Oh my gosh. Becky. And yeah, so Becky actually did a really great applique demo with the ScanNCut and the Luminaire at Houston Quilt Fest. So if you want to watch that, it's available, I think, every single day of the fest. She did that in the afternoon. Yeah. So take a look at those. They're over on our YouTube channel. They are fantastic little tidbits of information. So if you wanted to take the guesswork out of doing applique on your Luminaire and your ScanNCut, that is definitely the tutorial for you.
All right. Now, if you notice, I put this transfer tape back onto its little holder. I had someone at one of the shows that came up to me and they were like, oh, transfer tape is expensive. I'm like, I can get, a little expensive sometimes. And she's like, well, it's a one and done. I said, excuse me? And she was like, yeah, you have to throw it away afterwards. And I was like, you're doing what? I was like, no, it's reusable. As long as it's sticky, you keep reusing it. Crafting material is expensive. Let's use it as much as we can. So we're going to put that back, and that's going to go. And actually, if you can zoom out to the other camera, I'll show them. I'll show you my dirty secret. You have to keep quiet. So what this is my secret holder. And what this is it keeps all my little pieces of vinyl. Any little bit that I had left goes into here. Because if you're an applicator, sometimes that little bitty piece could have made the eye for that snowman or his buttons. So I keep little pieces of vinyl and I code them in here. So I know if I need a piece of vinyl, even if it's little, I know it's all in there. And that's how I organize my little pieces of vinyl and my paper. But that way, with my big rolls, yes, they get stored separately. They get stored something different. But when it comes to those little pieces, you don't want them all over your craft room. Put them in something like that, and it's really helpful. One of my friends, she had tabs on hers that she bought. And she put the color of vinyl on the tab, so she didn't have to search through. She just automatically saw the color and grabbed what she needed. And it was super, super helpful. All right.
That is so awesome.
It is. It's pretty cool.
And yes, guys, that was pressure sense. That was PSV, pressure sensitive vinyl. So you're
going to know because, let's see. I dropped it. So what it is this is paper. This is a paper backing. Yes, I use Caesar. Paper backing. There's the vinyl. If it was a heated one, it would actually, let's see if I can find a solid piece. Let's see. I'll use this. So you notice that there's no paper backing. You've got this matte side and you've got this shiny side. What this matte side is glue. That's your vinyl. That was everything that was holding it together. Like Alex's name that we cut out, that was after it cut out. You notice it's all still together with that clear. So when I heat this onto a shirt or onto a stocking, like I did his stocking, what I did was I had it on here. I put that on there, that plastic. Do I want to put my iron to this? No, I've seen some people do it, and that's up to you. And then you put a piece of cloth over there, just regular cotton fabric. And then you're going to put your iron on there. You're going to seal it. Or if you have a press, you put it into your press. Let it press, let it get hot. Because what you're doing is you're heating up that glue that's on the back. And it's got to get hot enough to heat that glue. The hotter you heat that glue to the temperature it wants, the better it's going to seal into whatever material. I've seen some people, they'll do it with their iron at home. That's totally fine. If you're selling this and I'm selling it to someone, or I'm doing these for my son's class where every single one of his classmates have their name on there, and we're putting a coloring book and crayons, it's going to be cute. But I don't want them to get home and pick it or have their family something get on it and they put it in the wash and it comes off. So a heat press, if you're doing this as a business, look into a heat press. AllBrands has great ones that I highly recommend on our website. All the ones that are on there are ones I recommended. I make them take the rest of them off. I'm very, very adamant about it. So with that, you can. I've seen a few people say, well, there's that Cricut square thing. I don't know how hot it is, so I can't say if it's good or not, but make sure that it gets up to a good temperature to be able to heat that glue on the back of here. Yes. So we would heat it up. We would take that clear part off. It would leave our vinyl on. I would put that cotton sheet back over, hit it again with that iron to really seal it in with no barrier other than that cotton sheet. And then that way you've got this where this is fuzzy, this is textured, and this is on here. It is on here and it sealed it in, which is great. So
I love it.
oh
love
yeah,
it.
a lot of fun. And that's part what I think I just threw it.
Barbara just linked an awesome heat press in the chat.
Which
so
one she linked?
it's the red.
That's
yes,
the one I have.
it's
She
so
knows.
great. It's so great. So if you're looking
Yeah.
for a heat press, another thing, if you're just looking, I'm just throwing it out there.
That's what she
I know
wrote.
you've got like a Christmas list like up and good to go. I know you've probably got a Christmas list already
There you go.
with this show. So
So
you're welcome.
I love it. All right. So with this is just a pretty little ribbon I have. I could actually put Alex's or our last name. Honestly, our last name. If I was going to put it on a wreath, I could just heat it up, stick it to this because it's fabric, and be able to have a wreath that already has our name on it or our last name or something. And it's just right down the little tail. Or you could have put, Santa Claus, or you could put the reindeer, because remember the reindeer, we could bring it back around and have that cohesive decor, which
You're
is
making your own
wonderful.
Christmas collection for your house.
I am. It's called Courtney.
Yeah, it's perfect. It's perfect. I
It's
love that.
exclusive.
Exactly. And speaking of expensive, you saved some money
I
doing a particular mat
yes.
that I can see over there on the table. Let's
Callie
talk about
wants
that.
to steal this mat, and I'm going to take.
I'm
all
obsessed
the
with it.
So this started when I was late night shopping, which is never good. But I was on Anthropologie's website. We're going to call them out. Anthropologie's website, and I saw this gingerbread house floor mat for outside that you could, step on, but it was festive, and I was like, this is so cute. I love this. I want this. I put it in my cart. It was over $70. I took it back out my cart.
Nope.
I took it right back out my cart.
No way.
Before my husband could even smell that I had put it in. All right. We took it out of the cart, and I kept thinking about that mat, and I was like, I would be crazy to buy this, and I am crazy, but not like that. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to make it. I can do this. It was just a mat. I saw someone on YouTube, and Sorry Girls, they had done something similar too. And I was like, I can do this. So what I did was I went to Home Depot. I got a regular mat that they had. I cut the top to make it look like a gingerbread house. And then I had the ScanNCut cut me out window templates out of a cardstock. I had it cut me out the door. I had it cut me out a scallop that I could trace onto here. And then I painted it onto this mat. Oh, it's huge. Painted it onto this mat. So now I have a custom gingerbread house mat that cost me $10 for the mat and about $2 for the paint. So I have a $12 mat that Anthropologie wanted me to spend over $70 for.
Y'all, that is awesome.
Yes.
I'm obsessed.
Love this mat very much. I'm going to have to make sure I sneak it out of here without someone else grabbing it. But I love this mat. And honestly, it was kind of fun. I don't like I can't freehand worth a crud. I can't do it. It's too meticulous. Again, I don't want to do it. But I can trace. I can put down, where did I grab it? I can put down a stencil right here. And if you wanted to do like a thin acrylic or like a super, super thin acrylic, something very, very thin, you could cut it out of that and it's reusable. But I can put this cardstock down and be able to dab paint over it and then go and do my next one, go and do my next one and my next one. I can make it cut out this for me and be able to do that. I could do the little heart. Do you think I could freehand a heart? No, I could not. Do you think I could freehand some scallops? I'm good, but I'm not that good. But the ScanNCut's that good, which makes me that good. So now we have a custom mat for $12 instead of $70, and I'm still stuck on that price.
Cindy's wondering what kind of paint you used for that.
Oh, it was you really should use like a flex paint if you want it to last longer.
Yeah.
For this is going to be somewhere that I know is it's outside. I want my kids to see this because this is what Christmas is all about. It's family and my kids. I want my kids to see this. So I'm putting it at my back door. My back door is covered. So it's not going to get rained on. It might get some wet footprints on it. So I just used it in a regular acrylic paint. If you wanted it to be sealed, you could spray it with a clear overcoat or anything like that. And I probably will do that once I get home. I even thought I could go over the white and add some color to it and make it really look like a gingerbread house. But I really do like the white. But like I said, it's going to be in a spot that's not directly in the elements. If it was directly in the elements, I would look into like a flex paint that's made more for that kind of thing.
Pro tip with flex paint, because I've done this before. I don't like spending money on stuff I'm only going to use once.
Right.
I would rather just try and find a way to hack it at home. A great flex paint hack is to just add fabric softener to acrylic paint.
Oh.
It is a game changer. I can't tell you the ratio off the top of my head, but if you wanted to do something like that, like something like this mat, all you would need to do is mix in just a little bit of fabric softener with some acrylic paint, and that will give you that flex that you need. You can even do that on clothes. So if you don't want to buy a fabric paint and you've got acrylic paint at home, do it.
Now, this was something I just freaked out, but you know what? I thought about it, and it doesn't look exactly like Anthropologie's. Theirs had a ton of swirls and stuff, and I didn't really like that. I felt like it was a little busy. You can customize this. You could, remember the machine has so much built in. So if we wanted a candy cane, I could have cut a candy cane template and had little candy canes by the door if I wanted to. You can customize this as much as you want because it's yours. If you didn't want to put the heart or the window and you wanted a different one, you wanted it to look similar to your house. I thought about that last night. This kind of does. But if you wanted it similar to your house or some kind of way, or put people on a gingerbread man, people, you really could get creative. And again, it's not costing an arm and a leg, and it's customizable. We love, Jordan just pulled it up. Her eyes went, you didn't believe me?
No, I believed you. I just had to see it for myself.
It's very cute, but
it's very cute.
not that cute.
Not $70. Yeah, right. I mean, like, but that's the thing. It's $10. Yeah. It's $10 for all the materials, and it looks exactly the way you want it.
Literally,
you do not have to compromise.
It's nearly identical.
I wish we could show it.
What you made.
Like, can I have your phone real quick? I'm just gonna
here.
Show the people.
I'm just gonna show this. Hold on.
Let's see.
Very cute, but not cute enough to end up in my cart. There we go.
It's just not, not quite. Not quite.
Not cute enough for that. So again, it's customizable. You are only limited by your creativity and Pinterest.
That's it.
So you really could. The sky's the limits of what you can customize. A lot of people think just vinyl. They think just paper. This was paper, but this was a stencil. This was something that I could put on. Honestly, you could have done a stencil if anyone's ever done etching cream. Etching cream and ScanNCut were made for each other. Because what you can do is, I do it all the time. For a wedding gift, you get wine glasses. You cut out with vinyl the initials of the married couple. You put it on a wine glass. You get etching cream. Because remember, you're just going to take the outside of the vinyl. So not the actual letters, but just the outside of them. You made a stencil. Put that on a wine glass. You put that etching cream. Leave it on for a few minutes. You wash it off. Take the vinyl off. And it puts the initial of the people getting married on that wine glass. You get a set of 4, 6, however many wine glasses. And that is a great gift. And depending on how expensive the wine glass, it's not really that expensive. And I have gotten so many thank you cards that were underlined thank you. Because married, especially married, will love their last name. They love putting new things because they don't have anything with their new last name on usually yet. So having that, doing it on a casserole dish, a glass casserole dish on the bottom, or even on the bottom, so whenever you see through, it's got the name, or on the side, you could do that. They have some that have the plastic covering. You could do PSV vinyl on that plastic covering for that casserole dish. Then you could use heat vinyl on the carrier for that casserole dish. And you've put their name on every single thing. So when they go to Thanksgiving or Christmas dinners, they know that each one of those pieces, people know, oh, that right there, that's the Douthat's casserole dish. Oh, that's their holder. And everything gets back to you a little bit easier. But that is a great wedding gift to give someone.
Yeah. So Josie was wondering what that fabric softener thing was. I believe it's 1 part fabric softener to 2 parts paint. You may have to experiment with a little bit depending on how thick your acrylic paint is. But try it out. Try it out at home.
I saw someone's comment. And have everyone clean their shoes on it.
Exactly.
It hurts a little bit less when it's $12.
Exactly. So Jackie is wondering, is there a special deal going on with the 225F? So Jackie, I have great news for you. So the SDX225F is now available to purchase online. Previously, like last year, you could not get this machine online. You'd have to go into one of our stores or another brother dealer store to pick it up. But now you can pick this up online for $599.99 plus free shipping. Regular $999.99. We are taking off so much, and we are throwing in free shipping. And guys, they're blah, blah, blah. I can't make words today. I'm so excited about it. Over $840 in added value is included with this ScanNCut. So guys, walk, do not run to AllBrands. Or run, do not walk. See, I need coffee. What is wrong with me? Run, do not walk to AllBrands.com and take a look at this ScanNCut. We'll see if we can get a link down in the chat for you. Edna said, just don't forget to mirror image for the casserole dish. Thank you, Edna. See, keeping us on our toes here.
I love it.
Yes. Okay. So guys, this has been such a fun show. Courtney, thank you so much for coming on the show. This has been great. I hope that you guys have learned a lot. I certainly have. I still have yet to play with the ScanNCut, so I'm really excited to do this. I think everybody's going to be getting ScanNCut gifts for Christmas this year when I eventually get started on those.
Someone said it will pay for itself.
Exactly. So I hope that you learned a lot. This has been such an awesome show. So guys, we are pulling for that $50 gift card in just a second. So before we do that, if you have not yet, comment #AllBrands to be entered into that giveaway. The hashtag is going across the screen right now. That is the hashtag. So drop that in the comments and you will be entered into the giveaway. And you could win a $50 AllBrands gift card that you probably could put towards some ScanNCut accessories.
Ooh.
I'm just saying. So go ahead and comment that, and we are going to pull for that in just a second. I'm going to make sure we've got some other folks coming in with our entries. Wow, we're getting some more entries. So let's go ahead and let them enter just for a little bit longer, and then we'll go ahead and pull. Courtney, everybody has been loving this show. I feel like I've learned a lot. Everyone else at home has learned a lot. If you have a ScanNCut at home that's just been sitting collecting dust in your spare room or something, go ahead and try it. Start out, maybe make one of those paper boxes. That is the perfect beginner's project. That is perfect to get started. So definitely give it a shot. So let's go ahead and I'll share my, exactly. I'm going to go ahead and add this to the stream. So this is our gift card giveaway. So let's go ahead and draw that name. And we're going to figure out who's going to win that $50 AllBrands gift card. And let's get a drum roll in the chat. Dan, I really hope I said that name right. Congratulations. Woo! You have won a $50 AllBrands gift card. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited for you. Congratulations. So if you would, please email events@allbrands.com and make sure that you include in that email your name, your number, and your address so we can get that gift card out to you. Congratulations. I hope you put that gift card towards some ScanNCut accessories. If you got a ScanNCut, definitely do that. Woohoo. Oh my gosh. I love giving away gift cards. And I'm really glad that you guys have all enjoyed this show. Y'all, this has been such a fun show. I hope that you've enjoyed it. And if you missed anything at all, you will be able to watch this as soon as we go off the air from beginning to end. So just in case you missed something, it'll be there for you.
So I will say real quick though, if you've enjoyed having me and you for some reason want to have more of me, follow AllBrands on Instagram and Facebook because I might be popping up in something else a little bit more different, but a lot of fun. So definitely follow us and please follow us on all the social medias because you get to see more of our faces.
Yeah.
Shameless plug.
Shameless plug. Guys, and remember, so what we've been trying to do, so we are going to be doing some more videos. We recorded some earlier today with Courtney, so we're going to be putting those out pretty soon. I just have to edit them, so keep an eye out for those. And we've got plenty more videos coming your way. Next week, we will be doing another live show with I forget who it's with actually. But good news.
Is it Barbara? I think
it's Barbara. It's Barbara. Duh. Oh my gosh. Barbara's going to be doing some awesome upcycled projects next week. But if you definitely tune in for that. Absolutely tune in for that. And if you would like more ScanNCut education, keep an eye out on our YouTube channel. We will be posting some awesome Christmassy ScanNCut tutorials. And we are going to be doing a live show on December 16th with Cindy Hogan, and we are going to be talking more about the ScanNCut. So if this wasn't enough for you and you want more, definitely check that out. Keep an eye out for that, and make sure that you are subscribed to our YouTube channel. Hit that bell for notifications. Follow us on Facebook. Make sure you have notifications turned on for that as well. And follow us on Instagram. And also make sure notifications are turned on because we post there too. So you can catch us there. You can see what we're up to. We're doing a lot behind the scenes to make sure that we are churning out education and fun videos that we know you will enjoy. So please stay tuned for that. And thank you all again so much for tuning in today. So this is just one of many awesome shows that we are going to be doing this month. Make sure you tune in for the live show with Barbara next week at 3:30 right here. Wherever you're watching, that is where we're going to be. So stay tuned for that. And with that said, this is the AllBrands Show signing off for today. Thank you so much again for tuning in, and we will see you next week. Mwah. Bye everybody. See ya.